Alright, y'all, this is going to be probably the most longest and ambiguous, ambitionous review I'm ever going to be talking about. First off, the fall off is coming, February 6th. I ain't stupid about that. We're gonna be fucking live streaming that shit with a reaction. Appreciate everybody who came out with Don't Be Dumb. Love that. I'm gonna continue doing that because I just rather prefer doing that instead of long formatted videos because they take longer to upload. So rather just do that, keep it more real, authentic, and really fresh, and all that stuff going forward. But yeah, so it's been a long overdue for myself to talk about J. Cole in his mixtape discography from the come up all the way to Friday Night Lights. So this is going to be the longest video I ever talked about with 3 projects. I'm gonna do it all in one video. Gotta put some timestamps of which I'm gonna be talking about, but it's gonna be all in chronological order. And gonna tell you guys my thoughts and opinions at the very end of this video of which is my favorite out of the mixtapes, even though it's pretty much being relabeled as albums on Spotify. But I digress. And really just shows his capabilities of how he was before, until people like me that just only knew him for his sideline stories, Bore Sinner, 2014 Forest Hills Drive, For Your Eyes Only, KOD, all season before all that. So it's really nice to hear a different introspective version of J. Cole that I had never seen before, like this whole side of how he was, of his upbringings and everything, and it's really nice and genuine to see that. So without further ado, let's talk about it, with the first mixtape being the Come Up. Come Up, really nice project. Literally love the introduction of it, just showing that, hey, this is Cole and everything. Simba is really dope. I love the beat. It's really nice. It's just really such a strong it's a strong track going into this project, as a very versatile with he was really versatile with his lyrics, becoming a king like Simba. I love that. I love the whole Lion King reference there, and the whole king of rap and all that stuff. So it was just really nice to see all that, and has a music video towards it too. So I was like, wow, that's really crazy to me. On the Man has a really solid beat, and just establishing my bad, himself as being one of the goats, greatest. So he's him. School Days has a really nice beat. I love it for some reason. Really it's really like a little jazz intermission with it, but I love it nonetheless. And I feel like it's just talking with him with his young adolescence in school and everything, being really uptight with school and wanting to go back like his old days. Just a whole lot of a reminiscent type of feeling that I see from there. But and yeah, Dollar in a Dream is really nice in my opinion. I did not expect it to be how it is. I know there's his other second and third Dollar in the Dreams, but I the third one is on his sideline project, but I did not know this is where it originally came from. It's really nice. It talks about with him being broke and stuff, and just you know living the dollar in the dream, man. Just he only has a dream to do better and all that stuff. And I think this is the song that kind of ties into his fans, especially what he did with his concert that he did a year or two ago, offering fans $1 tickets towards the show. So it's really nice and admirable of him. Throw It Up is really nice. I love the catchy bars, the catchy beats too, and the fucking incest bar was kind of wild, but it really slapped in my opinion, because when he said that shit, I'm only fucking with sisters, like incest. I was like, okay, first of all, clever wordplay, really out of pocket in my opinion. But I'll go back to this song because of that beat production and just how hungry Cole is on that track. You can really see how hungry he is on that track, and I love it. Quote Me is a really nice hype up type of beat that he has on there. The instrumentals was just really on point. It sounded way too fast for some reason to me. I don't know why, but whatever he says or does advises people to quote him. Whatever he says, quote him. That's on him and everything. College Boy, it's really nice. That talks about his college experience, girls, exams, clubs, stuff like that. The beat is just really nice in my opinion. I really love that. And it reminds me of me when I literally just finished college last year, so it was just really nice. to get something of a similar aspect of that. Split You Up has a really nice production on there. He isn't really trying to be no homewrecker, no partner to no one, ain't doing all that, but he trying to get with the girl. You know what I mean? Just classical style type of song that he puts on. But yeah, the Come Up has a really nice beat and piano type production into it. It sounds really crazy in my opinion, because it really sounds like the piano. It's just more so on the piano instrumentals sound like a whole lot of like deeper, like heavier. Like I think there's like more. I can't know like the musical terms of like how piano sounds, but like it's hitting like the low notes. Like I don't know, it's hitting like really low notes on here, but I enjoy it nonetheless. Like I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's really nice, and he's just talking about how I interpret it, like his basic come up and everything. So eating chicken noodle, eating noodle soup, and all that type of shit. Dead Presidents one is so fucking good in my opinion. I love the deep beat that he sounds and really retro old school type of production, even though he did sample this from Hove when he did his interpretation of Dead President. So I really like it. And with Cole reminiscing of his early years in school and like wishing if he was rich and everything and having, dead fucking presidents to represent me type shit, which is really, weird of how things are now. But like listening to this, it's just like, man, that hits really fucking hard, dude. I really love Cole when he's on productional beats like these, man. It's just, and he makes the second one too on the warm up, which I'll talk about that in a minute, pretty soon. But it was just really nice to see. This is one of my favorite tracks on here, besides Dollar in the Dream and Throw It Up, on there too. Little Ghetto N Word is really nice too. The production takes such a dramatic turn. It just it felt so built up and hype up and like in a good way though, and his singing aspect on here is really nice too. I love how this is so composed and orchestrated, man. It is really fucking good in my opinion. Excuse me. It sounds really heavy in a good way, and it's like his own biggest hype song in my opinion. Homecoming just felt too short for me in my opinion. Sounds like it was really cut off. I really appreciate like the sound it has of him coming back, in my opinion. I just wish it was just a little bit longer for me to digest, in my opinion. But can't beggars can be choosers on there. Caroline on my mind. I love the jazz elements that he puts on here, and he just remembers a lot of his hometown. Keeping your hometown roots with you wherever you go and how you carry yourself. So that's just really nice to see there that he just shouts out, Fayetteville of where he's from. So that's really nice. Can't Cry. It's I'm not gonna say this is an easy song to listen to, but it goes really deep on the stuff that he when times didn't go his way, and then like if it doesn't, he just can't cry. He just needs to pick himself back up, like a whole uplifting song, and talks about with a 17-year-old kid getting killed before his graduation, or 11-year-old girl that got raped and shit. It's just like, man, like for me, I'd have never expected to hear this from the first time. I was like, holy shit, like that's real as fuck, man. Like you don't expect people to be rapping stuff like this on a more casual thing, but it is, the rap is such a wonderful genre to interpret with any situations and problems that are going on. And I love how his flow just so it works so well on here, and it's not a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing to be talking about serious topics like these. Going Off has a really heavier piano production that's been outing, and he's just basically going outplaying his ops in his own competition of the rap game, and just seeing how hungry he is now. Back then, kept that same energy that he is now, and that's just so fucking great to see, man. Rags to riches is just his way of just to get out where you're from, knowing that money won't help with your happiness, but it will get you out of a bad situation, like helping his mom get out of like with debt and like paying off like mortgages or some shit like that. But it's really nice to again to not only let money and everything get to you, but remember of like how you were into again to carry yourself. and to only use things to get you into better situations than leading into bad ones, bad situations, and all that stuff. But hey, it's just a dollar and a dream type shit, just living the best that you can with no money or with money. But I love this mixtape. This is my personal favorite because this is, I feel like, besides the other two, this is like the more raw, authentic version. I love to see J. Cole, besides, talking how he does, or rapping, I should say, in his later projects. It's just, in a different time era too, and I think that's why I like it, because it's from a different time of where Cole was in his head and his life. So I tend to enjoy that a little bit more. The warm up, the warm up. Everybody praises this album. And I'm not saying like, it's bad or anything. Like, I know the warm up is probably one of the best fucking mixtapes slash album experience that people have ever experienced, Cole and everything. And people always recommend to listen to this, but it's like, I get it. Like, the warm up is pretty good in my opinion. It does have some skips for me, but not in like in a bad way. It's just like some songs don't really get to me like that. So let me just get to it. That the warm up has a really nice fast pace up type beat tempo. I like what he's saying to welcome to his world, or like the journey that he's going to take you on here on the song Welcome. Really appreciate that. Can I Live is really good on here. I love this. I love this song. It's just him trying to get by and making it through any outcome or situations that he's currently in, or putting himself in, or trying to get out of. Appreciate that raw, authentic that side that comes out of him on that. Grown Simba, really love that fucking sequel to Simba, your young Simba, in my opinion, is really good. As a is a great sequel, and the production quality just steps up even more, and I love it. Can I? Oh wait, I forgot to. I'm skipping songs here. Trying to Can I Live? Trying to get by, making things out of his outcome too, is really good too. I think like with the first couple is just really fucking good, because it's just, again, continuing on with the whole mentality of to get things going, to get things in your way, not to let things get in, you know out of whatever situation, and overcome any possibilities and outcomes. And just gotta keep pushing, man, and going through. So yeah, that with Can I Live, and I know I'm switching songs, like I'm reading my songs list differently, but yeah, that and Grown Simba is a great sequel. I appreciate that, and I hopefully he puts this on the fall off too. If he does that with like Mufasa, I will lose my shit. Just to Get By is a very impressive minute and a half song. I would have, like, it just felt more like an interlude, and I think that's what he was trying to go for here. I would have loved to see with like a full, like a full couple minutes of the instruments would have been like, if it was like used a little bit more, because I love how it was used, and it was just so nice. It has a lot of cultural references, and like the beat production with the piano was such a nice touch, man, in my opinion. I'm telling you, man, fucking pianos and rap, it's just such an underrated thing to use, man. I feel like more artists should tap in on using different instrumentals in their projects. But, it's really nice to see that. Lights Please, another classic beat by J. Cole. You know, lyrics are all good around. Like, if y'all really listen to, it's just like, man, because it helps me that I listen to Sideline, and to listening to his older discographies helps me to love and appreciate this fucking all his songs a whole lot more, man. And I love the transition that he used from Light Please to Dead Presidents too, which is my favorite, man. Just love that transition. Just really classic shit from the come up, and literally Cole just spinning more bars on here than he did on the first one, and just getting his feelings out. So, and I love that in that whole minute or so before the Dead Presidents, that he just talks about this person that got to him, of like, to come harder on the bars that he's delivering on that production. So that was just like, yeah, man, that guy pushed him to do better, and that's what he did on Dead Presidents too. So I gotta appreciate Cole from coming out with a second fucking song with more verses on there, man. Love it. I Get Up feels like a sequel to Dead Presidents, in my opinion. It's just with him trying to be one on its own, and just getting up of what getting up and doing what you got to do regardless of like the path that is laid out. You do things your way, and that's how I took that song, and it's a really motivated song in my opinion. World is Empty, the soundtrack has a really nice soulful production, and I love that part. I would say that was the biggest highlight of that song in my opinion. Dreams is really nice. It's just with him talking about the girls of his dreams, has a really nice R&B touch into it, and it has even though I love the chorus, it's really just obsession and just him being a fucking soccer man. As much as it's like, oh, he's in love, I'm like, bro, this man is like obsessed. Like, what the fuck are y'all on? But it's in a good way though. Yeah, like he didn't do anything bad, but he's talking about crashing her man's car. Okay, cool. Okay, let's move on from that. Dollar in the Dream 2. I did not like the backup vocals. I'm gonna be honest with you guys about that. Has a really great, again, piano instrumental that was playing in the background with his verses and everything. So again, I'm a sucker for this. Cannot express this anymore, man. But it's just really good shit that he has on that. But yeah, Dollar in the Dream 2 is really good. The first two are good. Didn't like the third one on Sideline for some reason. I might talk about his older discographies at some point. It's just the motivation to like actually jot everything down because they're all really good. Water Break has a really nice aggressive rap that he's putting himself on here. Headache has really nice drums and beats, really good on that, and just on paper of what's overdone for him, stuff like that. Getaway has a nice soulful production. I really enjoy him having everyone to get away from him when things change and people act different. So it's just like, man, being switched up with that is crazy work in my opinion. The warm up, like the knock knock one, has a really nice highlight with the beat, and I feel like how I interpret it with like girls and all that stuff. But it's really nice though, so I love that. I love warm up ladies hyping up all the girls on the song and not discriminating where they're from. So I'm like, all right, this one's for the girls type shit. So I appreciate the those two songs. Till Infinity has some of the best fucking production with his beat being so fucking fast, in my opinion. It was just a fucking highlight. I love his rapping performance going so off. That breath control is really going off. Just fucking incredible work and just blasting off like a rocket ship and just getting better with chasing something bigger and better. So this is one of the fucking highlights of this fucking mixtape besides Dead President's $2 in the Dream and the other two warm up songs on here. The Badness has a really nice mood. I don't know if it's like an R&B type soulful production, but I just love how moody it sounds and it has like a yin and yang. When something good happens, something bad might lurk. And Omen is such a good feature on here. Him and Omen go back to back, and it's a good way. And hopefully he can be on the fall off too. So who knows with that. Hold It Down has a really great production, just wants to keep things down whenever he's not around, not stray away from his roots and who he is, a different life he's living compared to his peers whenever he catches up to them and how they live, and to call your boy to make sure you hold him down of like excuse me, don't lose yourself, make sure to keep your authentic self with you wherever you go. And this is literally with like his whole upbringing of becoming one of the most famous rappers of like he was behind on some things while his peers were catch up to him. So just some elite ball knowledge of Cole there. Last Call is a really nice closing song to finish things up with a heartache type that should be wise and just better and just before anything of what's about to end and to start. So it was really nice right that. Losing my balance is a really nice bonus song. I would have put it somewhere that's not in the middle because Last Call I feel like should have been like the very very last song of the track. But I appreciate Losing My Balance too. Just again, not losing himself to what's going on, and a woman that's he switches up with a different verse with like a woman that's losing herself to guys, and the best fucking guitar production that I have ever heard Cole go on is really nice. I think that's also an underrated thing to add on to with rap, like guitar production, piano production, such great stuff, man, and I love it. I don't know if Cole might use something like that on the fall off, but hey, I'm not really, disagreeing, man. I'm up for whatever experience I'm getting from Cole. But man, that last call and fucking losing my balance, they both go hand to hand on being one of the best tracks, like on the more leading end towards the mixtape. So really appreciate that. So yeah, that was the warm up. So now we're gonna be talking about Friday Night Lights. I know this is the one fucking album slash or mixtape. I'm sorry. This is the album that everybody's like, man, this should have been an album. This should have been his first project before Sideline. You know, there are some really nice stuff on here. I'm not gonna deny that. I'm just saying this is not what I would go to first off, but there are some gems in here. There are some straight bangers in here. I love how the intro, Friday nights, I love how the intro just plays again with the piano, just commentating about how far you're coming and that you're almost there. So I love that, like that one-on-one talk that Cole has. It just really feels like you are him and you are with him at the same time in this journey of life and where you're at. I love that stuff from the first song. Favorite is Too Deep for the intro. This production is so fucking great, and it just curates so well with Cole's flow, and it's really memorizing. And he's just telling his life experience of how much he just started off on the album, and it just hints the name that this is too deep for the intro. This is too deep to put all this, excuse me, all this hard shit on the first song without listening to the rest of the album. But it's really nice, man. Before I'm Gone is just leaving an impact before he leaves. Beat is so fucking good. And being back to the topic, reminding him of himself of his pen skills. Production was just lacking a little bit on here, not too drastic, but it's still pretty good in my opinion. You Got It is another one of those hyping up your girl song. Him and Wale had great, not had, hat is, him and Wale have great chemistry on here, and it's really great in my opinion. Both going back to back with this production is so fucking unmatched in my opinion. Matic is my favorite, and it's mostly because he is rapping on "Devils in the New Dress." He sampled that from Kanye. Okay, listen. In my opinion, it is that production is memorable on both songs. I feel like this is a highlight, another highlight by Cole, because for me, in my opinion, with every sample he uses, he knows how to just make it so good. Not saying that he can make it like he made it on his own, but how he raps eternally and externally on here, it is so fucking nice to hear a different perspective of how beats are being used differently. And I love how he has that on here. He's just making sure his fame is not letting it get to him, and talking again about his college days and shouting out to the people who are in college and just hoping his debut tape will do so good, and getting comparisons of like the Illmatic from Nas's album from his life experience, but of his own, because he's from the Villmatic, which he hints the name of Illmatic instead of Illmatic. Just literally nothing different, but just take away the V and just add and just leave the I on there. You're just like, you know what? It's right there, man. It's right there. That's all I gotta say. Chanted has a really great production. Love the violin and really orchestrated on there, and chancing yourself and making through your obstacles that you have in your life. Albums are really great, and another good Omen and Cole collaborative song. Like I said, did a pre sorry, did a previous one that they both did with, what was it? I just fucking said it. With Badness too. The Badness from the warm up. So that on here with Enchanted, really great collaborative song. Again, hopefully they can both do another one in the fall off. It would just be such a nice full circle, because he's been there in his beginnings, and now I hope he's there on his final end. Blow Up is a really nice egotistical boosted song that he's really just saying to his haters, just fuck the haters, and he's gonna blow up. Production is really good. Production takes a really highlight on here. It just lets it ride away while he puts his ad-libs on there. Is really great stuff. Higher is a really nice prelude to um Morning has a really solid arcade arcade type of like sounds like dun 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 dun. You know, I'm like I like it. I don't like it too much, but I like cool because it really does sounds like a arcade type of beat and everything. And just with him having his own like woman that he just travels to like sporting events. Like that's how I interpret it. It could be so much deeper in that, but that's how I picked up from the song. And then Morning, classic song about a woman with J. Cole and Drake, you know. We have heard this song plenty of fucking times in someone's whip or someone that put this on their fucking sex playlist or some shit like that. Nothing too fancy, but another classic song from Cole's discography and another classic duo song with him and Drake too. Two Face has a really nice aggressive beat and just dealing with like the peace and chaos and the complexities of his own psyche, his own humanity within himself was like speaking with peace, but his other side is just talking about what he would do, like to get all violent and shit. So yeah, the autograph has again another one of those overcoming obstacle types of songs, which is really nice to hear, and just giving autographs to his young ones, but not giving false hope and just again fucking with baby mamas and baby daddies. Cole likes to do that apparently a lot, but kidding. So we got Best Friends Friday Nights. The albums are really nice, and I love the sadistic flow that he has on here with Silly. It's really great, in my opinion. It cost me a lot. I had to re-listen to like a couple of these songs, the little later ones, because with this one, how I've took it of like him talking with his financial struggles, and he just loves of how the material things bring him, but it's just not what it costs. It's just, showing appreciation of like how he's using his money more wisely and how he's making others more happier than he is with himself. Because he's a simple, humbled man, dude, in my opinion. And it's just really nice to see how financial struggles can make them better people instead of letting them get to over their head. And that's what happens to people. They lose their real side of humanity of their upbringing and everything. But not him. Cole always just keeps his authentic self to the fucking core. Premeditated Murder has a really nice fucking verse from Cole. Just again with this game as an MC and just being grounded with himself. And the production wasn't really all that there, but it was just okay enough. It really didn't match with Cole of what he was like doing. It was just not it for me. Home for the Holidays has really nice jazz production. Just felt overdone. Has him catching up with people with like the holidays, with your fams and everything, and just trying to make time before he goes away for whatever it would be with college or with his music career and everything. So it was a nice touch there. SeaWorld has one of the best unique productions. I don't know if he sampled this or not, but it really goes hard and it's just solid. And just seeing what the world of what it is than what he's expecting, an open eyes, an open perspective on things. And Farewell has really nice lyrics in my opinion. Just a forgettable beat in my opinion. Just saying his farewells to everyone and to close off his journey of how he is now to whatever that may come up of. But yeah, that is Friday Night Lights by J. Cole. And in my opinion, this three mixtape album run, whatever you guys want to call it from there, is really nice to see of Cole. It for me, it just brings a whole lot of different perspective of like how Cole was before I got into the sidelines, the Born Sinners, the fucking For Your Eyes Only, and all that stuff. It just really just opens up of like his rapping capabilities was there from the get go, and ever since then and now, I don't think Cole has ever slowed down, and he has been putting the gas on the pedal for so long. And to see him finally take that stop with the fall off is a lot, dude. I'm really excited to see him, make his final hurrah. I don't know the experience we're gonna get from this fall off because the come up, the warm up, and the Friday nights they're all so unique and they're from different time spaces, but a whole lot of relevancy of his roots his authenticness, his humbleness, his ego not really being tested, him just keeping things grounded and come up and everything. So to see that and the fall off is going to be such a full circle, delightful treat type of moment because a lot has happened from him dropping those mixtapes. And how would I rank them would be the come up, Friday nights, and the warm up. I know I'm gonna get some heads turned with that because, in my opinion, I felt like the come up had a more consistent sound, a consistent track list, and for me, compared to all these three projects side by side, I have fewer less skips on the come up than with with the warm up and Friday nights because with those two projects. I felt like I do want to hear some things from Cole, but not the whole experience. Like if I want to listen to his whole um entire discography, I'll do that start to finish. Or if I want to hear, different versions of Cole, but on a more full length way, yeah, I'll listen to the warm up Friday nights and the come up just start to finish. But there are a little bit of some skips because from the warm up, for example, I might not want to listen to in my opinion, The World is Empty, or the warm up Royal Flush or Water Break, or Headache too. I might want to listen to probably Grown Simba or Dead Presidents or probably even to Infinity, maybe not listen to the rest of the track list or with Friday Nights with Deep with the intro, Vilmatic or probably a fucking Sea World, it's just really on my mood. But like I notice a whole lot more that I go to the come up a whole lot more because it's just again really consistent, especially with that production too. And it really never gets to me, especially with like if I had to skip songs on here, I'll probably Carolina on My Mind or probably Rags to Riches because I probably don't want to listen to, the final bits of the song that closes off that whole section of it. But it's still good nonetheless because it's just a different production of Cole just whatchamacallit receiving the other end of the call and just talking about it and like the beat goes doo, 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 doo. Like it's really weird, but that's not gonna like take away my experience of it. Like I still appreciate everything on all the work that he put into now or before that he's doing now, man. Just again, another solidified classic from Cole added to his fucking discography as being one of the fucking goats of all time, dude. I gotta appreciate that, and I tend to go back on there more because I have maxed out on Born Center, 2014, For Your Eyes, KOD, so me, I'm getting more used to it, and I'm more used to listening to the come up of its full conception from start to finish a whole lot more when than the warm up and Friday nights. Not trying to discard their impacts too, and especially for Friday Night Lights because that whole mixtape solidified a lot of people of Cole probably dropping that instead of his sideline, considering that to be a more studio album experience than it was for a mixtape. That has a lot more recognition and influence in that way, and that I'm not denying of it. And especially with the warm up being such a big highlight in Cole's, upbringing of a whole lot of recommendation, a whole lot of more stuff that's been, talked about and added with the warm up a lot more. But I just appreciate the come up just a little bit better. It's my preferred pick out of three of them in my opinion. But, I'm not denying the other two of their impact and their own way of like being important to Cole's discography and everything in his come up too. So yeah, that's just my opinion on that. Let me know what you guys think. Out of all these three mixtapes, which is your favorite? And what's your favorite song? From these three, I'll give you mine real quick. It will be Dead Presidents 1, Throw It Up, Too Deep from the Intro, Till Infinity, and I don't want to do another one, but if I had to choose another one from the come up because I love it, I'll do with Lil Ghetto N Word. So Lil Ghetto N Word, Simba could be a good one too. Like I don't know because I just felt like there's a lot more bangers for me on the come up that there is from the other two. In my opinion, with more replay value, a whole lot more is on the come up. But yeah, that's my solidified of top five, or yeah, top five, Too Deep. Um, what is it? Too Deep. Till Infinite. And I just said it too. Like I'm so fucking hyperfixated on like other shit. So 2D for the intro, Till Infinity, Dead Presidents, Little Ghetto N Word, okay, and Dollar or Throw It Up. I'll say that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. If not, that's okay with me. Let me know your whole experience with Cole's mixtape discography slash trilogy, and then your excitement for the fall off. If not, that's a okay with me. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Fenagos239, and I hope y'all have a wonderful morning, that day, evening, whatever the occasion is. Take care, stay safe, and all that good jazz, guys. But anyways, guys, later.